Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination thrive. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair. Come on down and get your geek to gift at the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi
Whew, what a day. Seems like I was just sitting here, less than 15, 16 hours ago, watching an hour of rockets in spacesuits. Then hearing the same 1969 NASA whatever. But at the end of it all, we got the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer. What a way to end and start a day. I don't know how many views it's gotten, but I know it's going to get several more from me. Like I said, I was already excited about it. So welcome to the Midnight Express. One of the main things we're going to do tonight is or this morning is we're going to take a look at some of the details of the trailer. We're going to watch it again. I'm going to slow it down so I can, look at some of the details I may have missed over. There will be no Brad today because apparently he's sick. He's lost his voice, so he doesn't sound like himself, he said. So he'll be back tomorrow, which, by the way, will be his birthday stream. So we'll celebrate Brad's 38th birthday tomorrow. So we'll have fun. Hopefully he doesn't sound like a Muppet then. So all right, here we go. Hello, Koala. Hello, Jalen. What's going on? Chuck, Chappie. Yep, my intro, Montrose. That's it. Yeah, we're gonna probably switch that up a little bit. Not the sounds, not the music, but the images and stuff. I'm looking forward to. William, I just realized something. I'm not in your intro. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Whoever that thing was, I'm glad I did not. Whatever that thing was, I was so glad I did not watch it. 4:00 in the morning. It was decent. I actually enjoyed it. Like I said, I thought it could have lasted a little bit longer. You could have actually shown me the face of Galactus. Obviously, it's obvious that he's in there, as you can see from my thumbnail. That I love that shadow over New York City that you see when it's him, and you see him start to turn his head. Like if you've seen the one that they released in Comic-Con, you'll see that you actually see his face. He turns around and he peers into the Baxter Building, and you see his full face. So. As a matter of fact, let me bring that up. I have the trailer ready so that we can watch it. Let's see. So there was one that froze it and showed you his face from the thing we had earlier. And I hear, and then I've had a couple of people make up mashups of that awful Smoke Monster. from let's see, that's for yeah, because his face is pretty cool. Like I said, when I first saw it last summer, it was kind of really cool. All right, so let's share this. Hold on. All right, here we go. Cancel. Present. Share screen. So there's I mean, you see it here. You can see his eyes, his face, but the actual scene when it's in motion, like the one we saw at Comic-Con, you actually see him turn around to look into the window, so you actually see his entire face. But that's him right there. And you know it's him because when he turns, when we were during the scene, the footage we saw, you could see his whole head, and it's instantly recognizable as him. So there's Galactus. Like I said, that was what I needed to see. I wish it could have been more. I wish it could have, actually shown him, but it was fine. I get that. I would go a little bit more than decent. I actually thought that trailer accomplished a lot in its minute and 47 seconds. I actually thought it did everything that a trailer was supposed to do. Give you the brief introduction to the characters. They did that. They did that for all the main characters. You know who the villain is. At least one of the villains is. I'm pretty sure Doom will be in there, but I think Galactus will be the primary threat. They showed you him. They showed you. They gave you a snippet of each character. They gave you a sample of the environment. This trailer did everything it was supposed to do. I don't think it could have gone any better. The only thing that, like I said, I would have added, I've said this over and over again, was seeing Galactus's face and maybe lasting a little bit longer. But that's about it. Okay, Aztec, I think you're trolling me, so I almost responded to that. Allergies. All right. How you doing, Antonio? We got a lot of wind out here. It's driving me crazy. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right. Aaron, I wish the trailer was longer. Yeah, so do I. I thought it could have been at least another 30 seconds longer. I would have been okay with it. I wish the trailer was longer, but we got me hyped for a movie I wasn't really hyped for before. Yeah, like I said, I have been on the Fantastic Four bandwagon since they announced it. So I have wanted to see a Fantastic Four movie set in this proper Marvel Cinematic Universe since they started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I knew it was going to take forever because they didn't own the rights at the time. So I'm thrilled. This movie, like I've said over and over again, July has 3 major blockbuster, potential blockbuster films. It starts off on July 4th with Jurassic World Rebirth. Then you have Superman, and then you have Fantastic Four. I couldn't care less about Jurassic Park if I actually put physical effort into it. I don't care. You guys enjoy that for me. Not going. Superman, obviously, I'm curious about that. It's a comic book movie. It's the most the oldest superhero. Given where DC has been in the last 10 years, it's going to be interesting to see with this if they're able to chart a new path that people actually care about, and I will be there for it. And then Fantastic Four. Like I said, not only is Fantastic Four coming out on the 27th, we will be literally at Comic-Con. So we may even see it there. But I think it's cool because last year, me, Ray, and Phil went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine in Comic-Con, even though they showed it in Hall H. We couldn't get into that. But we actually went to, a movie theater in San Diego, which was cool because everybody there was there for the convention, so it was a real cool atmosphere. So I hope you were able to replicate that. Yeah, Galactus is great, and like I said, I love that image. That's why I used it on our thumbnail today. I really love that image of him. I some people message me like, he seems tiny. Galactus's normal size that he keeps. He has the ability to change his size and go up miles and miles if he wants to. The average height that you see Galactus, the one he maintains the most, is that of 28 feet. 28 feet. He can go. So when you've seen him and he's gotten bigger, yeah, he's a primordial. He has, he's as old as the known universe is. He has the power to do that. He does not do that because of the amount of energy it takes for him to maintain sizes, and the more energy he expends, the more he has to go hunting for planets and everything else. So Galactus, whatever size you've ever seen Galactus, is the right size. Holding back, whatever. Yeah, none of these movies were ever going to release. I can't believe anybody ever thought any of these movies were ever going to release. There was no reason for them to move their release. There was never any reason. People were like, Superman needs to move. Superman was never going to move. Jurassic World was never going to move, and there was no reason to move Fantastic Four. There was no reason. I think fans think that that it's some kind of chess game to where they're trying to avoid each other. There's 2 weeks in between each of these movies. July 4th, and then you have July 4th, and then you have July 11th. So why would you need to move those? 82% of all your money is going to be made in the first 2 weeks anyway. And if you make any more beyond that, you're going to be a blockbuster no matter what. So it doesn't matter. Jurassic World is not hurting Superman. Superman is not hurting Fantastic Four. If anything, the rising tide will lift all these ships. So once they announced the dates for these movies, I pretty much laughed at anybody that thought that they were going to change dates. I did not understand why anybody would entertain that. There's no reason for those to move the date. They actually augment each other. So yeah, they stuck to the guns because that was the original date. They thought about that date when they put it out there. So I never thought any of those movies were going to move. Galactus Rise of the Silver Surfer holds up until Fog Monster comes in, and giving me nightmares of that awful rendition of Darkseid in Smallville, where he had no business in anyway. But hey, hello Drogo, what's going on? Yeah, they're going to stick for the July 25th with the TV director who never heard of it in my life. Yeah, they were never going to. Once Marvel Studios said July 25th is where we're putting our movie, it was never going to move. And then I heard people like, well, it's just now getting filming. There's no way they're going to be able to get to effect it. I think Marvel Studios knows what they're doing more than we do. Once they announced that date was never moving. Once Superman announced that date was never moving. And you sure as hell weren't going to move Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. I don't know. Whenever I asked anybody why would they move that? Nobody ever had a good answer for me. Well, to give it more time away from this movie, look, they don't give a fuck about that. They do not. They figure it like I figure it. You're coming to the movies. And if you see a good movie, you got that euphoric feel when you leave a movie theater or when you're going to the movies. They got you coming and going because all these posters. You're going to walk into Jurassic Rebirth, and you're going to walk by a big, giant S. 36 by 48, ginormous poster of Superman. And you're going to start making your plans right there. They're planting that seed in your head. So, and you might even buy your tickets then, because why not? It's only 2 weeks away. They'll have a QR code there. You lift your phone up, you scan it, you're there. So there was no reason to ever move that movie. And when you come out of Superman, if you're feeling good about Superman, guess what? There's a big giant 4 on a poster, or a cardboard setup, some spectacular setup, maybe a giant Galactus that you're going to walk on your way to get your giant pretzels and your popcorn, you're going to walk past that. And on your way home, you're going to walk past that. And if you're feeling good, guess what? You just made your plans for July 25th. There was never any reason to move any of these movies. And it's not like I'm some kind of genius rocket science. This made no sense for them to move it. And so they weren't going to. Tomorrow, the Jurassic World. Okay, we will not be doing a watch party for that. Sorry, guys. When Brad comes back on tomorrow, if he wants to play the trailer, because he's actually going to go see that movie. Brad will give us, when that movie comes around, Brad's going to do the review. I just never got into those movies, guys, and I don't want to fake interest in something I'm not interested in. Once again, I don't know if you guys have a giant bowl of cannabis that you're all partaking in right now. I don't know which trailer you guys watch. Everybody's got an opinion, and that's fine. I don't know what the hell you guys are watching this morning. Sorry, sorry. If you didn't, I was blown away by the trailer. But once again, full disclosure, I'm biased. So, but hey, it is what it is, you know. The 2004. Listen, like we said this morning, I enjoyed the 2004. I enjoyed both of those movies. Like I said, sorely disappointed of the shitty Galactus I got out of Rise of the Silver Surfer, but for the most part, I like those movies. The problem, people try to view those movies through the lens of the MCU because we got this big, booming universe that we've had for the last 15, 16 years. You know, when you were, you know, if you ever went to go see those movies, like I did, I went to go see those movies in the theater, and they were fun movies. They were cheesy. That's the Fantastic Four. Now you have an entirely, you know, this big built-out atmosphere, and I've always been interested to see how they fit in. But you know what? The 2005, the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies, they're going to always have a place on the shelf for me. I won't refuse another trailer for Fantastic Four. If I get another one, I'm more than happy to see that. But I think they did everything they needed to do in this trailer. They checked off every box you needed to check off. There are some people that are going to be side-eyed on it no matter what. And those people are just going to have to make up their own minds come July 25th. But for those, I talked to a lot of people today that were, it was in their periphery, and now they're in. So it did what it needed to do business-wise. I wish you saw Silver Surfer, but I think though. So yeah, today was a proper trailer. Today was not a teaser trailer, by the way. Today was that was a trailer. But we have 7 months till this movie comes out, so we got at least 2 more trailers. I wouldn't be I would say what, April, maybe April, and then the last trailer should be in May or June, because the next month the movie comes out. But also realize, not only do they have those trailers, they have other movies coming out. They have other movies that they're promoting. You have Captain America, Brave New World coming out, and so that ties into it. So, but yeah, and plus, like I said, it would have been cool to see her, that version of Silver Surfer, but if I'm getting Galactus, I know I'm getting a Silver Surfer, so I'm good there. Galactus totally would. Well, the trailer didn't need saving. The trailer was great, but hey. Yeah, Alex. There's a lot of Alex Ross influence. I saw some. If you look at Ben Grimm looks exactly as Jack Kirby drew him. Ben Grimm looks exactly how Jack Kirby drew him. I loved seeing that. He is a man made of stone, so he's gonna look weird. I thought he was perfect, man. I thought he was perfect, and I love the blend of the CGI that they did, because some of it is practical effects and the rest of it's the CGI layover. So everybody's gonna have an opinion of it. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Hello, Clint. I was instantly sold on him as soon as I saw him in the costume from an earlier scene, and then when I saw him talking to Herbie, this is perfect. Pedro's fine. Pedro emotes the emotion that I need from a scene. Personally, the Superman wasn't a trailer. That was a teaser. That was just a bunch of random scenes thrown together with no premise. That's a teaser. So no, I can't even compare the two because one, they both have two different functions. The a teaser, there's no context, there's no meaning to it. It's just random scenes put together in hot shots to get the conversation going. So Superman did what it was supposed to do, but you can't compare it to an actual legitimate trailer that does the introductory, gives you the premise, and gives you the heart of this, what basically the story when the coming of the Galactus is. I can't tell you that with Superman trailer. I did not by under no circumstances did I think that Superman's trailer was better than Fantastic Four's trailer. It's not even close. But one is a trailer and one is a teaser. Now, when Superman comes out with a full blown trailer, appears pretty soon, then I can I can see. I don't think, be honest with you, from what I've seen, from everything we've seen collectively, I don't think Superman's going to be a better movie than Fantastic Four, personally. That is just my opinion. I'm not telling you guys what to think, and I don't care. But no, but there's two different missions with these movies. One of them is going to be a cog in a very rich story that's been told since 2008, and that is moving into a different phase. I for the most part, I trust the people in charge of this. There's no the stakes for Superman are completely different. I don't even think you should compare the two, to be honest with you, other than the fact that they're superhero movies and they were released in July. Superman has a different mission. It's beginning an entire universe, and it's doing it on shaky ground that not a lot of people have confidence in. So there's a lot more curiosity when it's kind of like when you're, the people who can't take their eyes off of a train wreck. That's pretty much what Superman is. The curiosity is because of where the IPs have been the last 13 years. The curiosity is there, whereas there's no curiosity when it comes to the MCU. They've been doing it, at a certain level. Their worst day is better than what DC's done in the last 7 years. So yeah. So not a comparison. I personally, once again, I can't compare a teaser to a full-blown trailer, but just the bits and pieces I've seen from both movies, if I had a limited amount of funds and I could only go to one, it's Fantastic Four. I would see Superman streaming. As it is, we're probably going to be promoting Superman, and so we'll be there anyway. But like I said, my movie of July 2025 is Fantastic Four. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I will probably be promoting Jurassic one, and this is just how much I'm not interested in it. I get to go see it for free, and I'm going to pass. Sorry. Yeah, it's July 2nd, but it's the July 4th weekend. Your majority of your money, and the reason why they put it on that weekend is it's because of that holiday. So when you look at July, let's look at July. So if you look at how's that set up? So let's go here. All right, so let's go. Fuck this thing. All right, so we go to July. All right, so July 2nd is on a Wednesday. So that's the night before a holiday where most people are going to be off or they're off the next day. They don't have to worry. So they release that on a Wednesday. It's the July 4th weekend. That's where you're going to make your bulk of your money for. Let's see. I don't know why anyone ever thought it was going to be delayed. No one has ever given me a common sense reason why any of these 3 movies are ever going to be delayed. I never understood. Bro, I swear to God, Jurassic World Rebirth makes $1 billion. I know it's going to make $1 billion. And Superman F4, don't lose. Okay, let me see from bro. I swear to God, if Jurassic World makes $1 billion and Superman and F4 don't, I don't think either of those movies are going to make $1 billion, and neither of them need to. Jurassic World prints money. That movie's going to make $1 billion. The last 3 Jurassic movies have made $1 billion. There's no, they have an audience. They're selling what their audience wants. I'm not part of it, but listen, they more power to them. Jurassic Point. So I don't think Superman is going to make $1 billion. It could. I don't think it's going to. I don't think Fantastic Four is going to make $1 billion, and it doesn't. Neither of those films need to make $1 billion, because the reference there. One of them is building a universe that you're gonna have to take it in the balls to get that universe going. That's fine. And the other one is leading to much larger things, and it will become a reference point whether you go see it or the first time out or not. By the time they get to Secret Wars and all these other things, you will have to go back and refer to Fantastic Four, whether you saw it on July 25th or not. I think it's going to do well. I think Fantastic Four is going to do Thor type money. I don't think $1 billion, but I wouldn't be surprised. And plus, like I said, if people go to see Superman and it's really good, and a lot of those people that are sitting on the fence and they're like, ooh, I don't know. And then you see people coming out of theaters and dude, that blew me away. Superman can make $1 billion. I don't think it's going to. Fantastic Four, same thing. People come out and, post-credit scene, it's Galactus, it's the first family. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion, but if it did, wouldn't shock me at all. There's a lot of factors that we don't know about that could lead to a movie making a lot more money or a lot less money than we think it is. But you know what? FF is getting my money, so. And I really hope Superman is good. I want to start having a positive conversation about DC characters again. How you doing? How you doing, Hal Jordan? Nice to see you again. Yeah, for me, it's FF, then Superman, and then Jurassic is just not on my list. Yeah, and like I said, it's the way they're telling the story, the coming of the Galactus. Oh my God, are you serious? Your name, Snyder, bro. Why your sister goes to Planned Parenthood? Okay, I can't get over the name. That's hilarious. Jurassic World will take all Superman's much money. Jurassic World is going to do well. I don't think Jurassic World hurts any of the other movies. I actually think it helps. The hardest thing, especially post-COVID, is to get people out to the theaters. Once you're out into the theaters in the summertime and you're in that mood and it's just, you're in that vibe, you're with your buddies, you're with your family, with your homies, and the movie's really good. Like if you're in the Jurassic World and that movie is really good for you and you come out and here's the poster for Superman. Here's crypto. Here's a stuffed crypto sitting there. That's all it takes sometimes. You're in the moment. So I don't think Jurassic World is going to hurt Superman at all. I don't think Fantastic Four, I don't think any of these movies are going to hurt each other. If anything, they will augment each other because, like I said, you're talking about a really kick-ass month at the movies. And the movie theaters, the box office people, they need this. They need this. That's why I'm like, if you were to move one of these movies, you actually risk hurting the box office, especially not Jurassic World. But the latter two, I don't think it's going to happen. Yes, please like, subscribe, hit the alert button, share, do all that stuff. If you're watching on Twitter right now, come on and let's come over to home base here. I'm going to go ahead and put up, since I don't have a co-host tonight, you'll actually be able to see it. There we go. YouTube.com/@the-Sci-Fi Center. If you are watching on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it right now, I don't know how long I'm going to be on that platform, so kind of like migrate over here as soon as you can. As soon as Blue Sky starts doing live stream, I'm probably going to be done with Twitter, but who knows? We'll take it day by day. Vanessa Kirby looks really good as Sue. Jessica Alba was fun. Like I said, for the time, 2005. Oh, dude, it's 20 years ago. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I just realized that. Oh, 20 years ago that movie came out. Jessica Alba was fine for what they were doing, but for what they're doing in this one, Vanessa Kirby's excellent. I mean, hearing her voice, I love that scene. Reed Richards is like, before we took the first light, Ben wasn't a rock, you weren't invisible, so you kind of see it in where he's just kind of like feeling guilty because hey, he's risking these people's lives, taking them into space. All right, and not only do I say it will be more talked about than any other movie because of online discourse about Superman tells me that it's going to be talked about more than any movie. Like I said, you have these other movies, they're a proven commodity. You don't really need to talk a lot about Fantastic Four in order for it to be successful. The Marvel Machine has already done that work for you. It's literally, you have home court advantage wherever you go when you're an MCU movie, especially, like I said, the top tier. You can say anything you want about Ant-Man and Marvels and all that other stuff. They have yet to fail with an A-lister. And make no mistake, the first family of comic books they are A-listers. If Marvel would have owned the rights to them in 2008, they would have been in the fold. They would have been in the fold in 2008. We would have already had Fantastic Four type movies and crossovers with Holland and all that other stuff, but they didn't. So, but make no mistake, anybody tries to tell you that Fantastic Four is not an A-list IP, you probably just need to walk away from that conversation because you guys are not speaking the same language. Superman has nothing to worry about. No, I mean, I don't think it's going to make the money it's going to make. The things that can affect Superman have nothing to do with the actual movie itself. It's the perception of where DC is. That's the biggest thing that and the neglect prior to Gunn taking over, prior to there being the things that are going to affect that movie one way or another, if it's adversely, have nothing to do with the movie itself. It's just the perception of where DC is right now. That movie's going to have to break the perception. So nothing to worry about. Crypto alone had more Crypto with a K had more hype than the Fantastic Four trailer. I once again, Fourth, and I think that's you. If this is what you're telling me, we're just gonna have to differ on opinion. I don't know what you were watching this morning then. Crypto, but once again, Superman needs all the edge it can get. Fantastic Four doesn't have to wow you at any. It wowed me, but it doesn't have to wow you in order for it to be successful or even more successful. The MCU has been wowing you since 2008. They don't have to ramp up and get you back. You're already there. So yeah, different missions, guys. Try not to compare them. Ooh. No, I didn't think so. But hey, yeah, sure. Yeah, you're gonna see Galactus. You'll probably see Galactus in the next trailer, and you'll probably see Silver Surfer in the next trailer. Yeah, I'm all in. Like I said, you're gonna. I mean, everybody's gonna have a different degree of success. I don't know. Listen. As far as the marketing goes, it was perfect. It was as perfect. It was as good as it needed to be. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer. Let's get demonetized. There we go. All right. Oops. This part right here with the elevator is opening, this is the part that they did show us at Comic-Con. So some of that that they showed us there was actually was footage that they were.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point.
Now, this whole Desi Lou looking Jetsons New York City, I really do love it. it allows them space that it allows them to form themselves in an environment that is not the current established MCU. They're part of the MCU, and you know they're going to end up with everybody else, but it allows them to maintain their own tone as they establish themselves in the movies. It's kind of cool.
Point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
And like I said, if you watch the Jetsons, or if you watch, the Disney, if you ever been on the Disney, the world, Tomorrowland, things like that, this is indicative of where a society would have been if they would have focused on technological advancement instead of some of the things we ended up focusing on in the 60s.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
All right. I've been collecting comics for 40 plus years. I've seen the thing on several different platforms. This is going to be just my opinion. You guys have your own. That's fine. I love the way he looks here. I love the way he looks here. I love the tone of his skin. The bridge across the eyes is exactly how Jack Kirby drew him, and exactly how John Byrne did it when we reset the series. Herbie's kind of cool. Once again, guys, as I've told you before, Herbie only exists because they couldn't put Johnny Storm and the Human Torch on cartoons for kids, because they were rightfully afraid that we would set each other on fire trying to emulate him. So that's why you got Herbie. But it's kind of cool. I love the little tape, the reel that are his eyes. I thought that was awesome.
Okay. Is this guy good or what?
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
T-5. Before we went up the first time.
All right, and this is all literally. These things are like, they're so tied to NASA, and the way NASA looked in the 60s was just really cool. And like I said, I was reminded of that on that fraudulent hour that we sat through. Oh, I was so hot. You guys watch our live stream. It's in the description. I'm sitting here thinking 3:59, here we go. Man, I was like, we made it work. We made it happen. But yeah, it was worth it. Superman gun, 450 million. No, I think minimum is going to be 450. I like I said, I'm guessing. I'm just pulling figures out of my ass. I'm guessing Superman is going to be anywhere between 450 and 750, but probably more than likely somewhere in the middle. If Superman, I said this over and over again, does 500 to 550, with the damage that bad management has done to the brand and everything, in the neglect and not having a Superman on screen for almost 7 years, all that, and just losing the attention of the audience. If that movie does that, they should be popping corks. If Superman does 550 or 7, that's fine. I'm thinking right around in the 5, because it's Superman. If it was Batman, you start out at 450. But I think I don't think Superman. I don't see why it would bomb. I think 450 million. Just out of curiosity, it's been a while since we had a Superman movie. I think it'll be. It could bomb. It could bomb. Like I said, there's a lot of factors that we don't, that we can't anticipate that can make a movie shoot up or down. I don't think it's going to, though. But like I said, 550, they should feel very good now, because like I said, that movie doesn't have to make all the money. It has to set up the universe to be viable. Superman on when it released on July 11th, it doesn't need to make all the money for the entire universe. It just needs to put the DCU in a good spot and give it momentum going forward. The next movies can carry the baton from that point. All right, let's see. Yeah, I really like this aesthetic. I really like this aesthetic. Marvel can call it an apricot. It wouldn't matter. What you call something and what it is are two different things. It's a trailer. It's easy. A teaser is what Superman was. A trailer is what this was. A teaser does not give you premise. A teaser gives you visual references thrown together randomly, usually way out of context, to get the conversation going. Even if a teaser is a couple minutes, doesn't matter. It's a teaser. A trailer, and like I said, Marvel can call it a fucking pineapple. It doesn't matter what they call it. It is what it is. I can call myself a rock star. I'm not one. By definition, a trailer gives you premise. Coming of Galactus, that's your premise. It reveals, the main story, Coming of Galactus, the main enemy, Galactus himself, and it introduces you to the characters within context of the story that they're telling. The trailer that you saw for Fantastic Four this morning did that. The teaser for Superman did not. The trailer for Superman will. It's just a different thing. Let's see. Dude, if Superman makes given all the circumstances I just laid out, if Superman makes $700 million, that's phenomenal. That's a dream come true. If they haven't signed James Gunn to a long-term contract, if Superman makes $700 million, they need to sign that while it's still in the theaters. That'd be phenomenal. I don't think it's going to be, and I don't think Fantastic Four is going to do $1 billion. A lot of that, not only does it not need to, I don't think they're going to keep it in the. If it does well in its first 2 weeks, they're going to want to. Both of these studios have platforms that they desperately want you to subscribe to. I don't think it's going to stay in the theaters long enough. I already think that Superman and Fantastic Four already have their streaming dates right now, as we speak right now, because that box office money is not going to mean as much to them as the money that they're going to get from PVOD, because they own they own those. Most of those platforms they have a stake in, so they get the majority of their money back. And then you keep your, if Superman is great, if Fantastic Four is great, and I'm throwing it on Disney Plus and Disney Max, Disney Plus and Max, then there's your business right there. So these movies may not even be kept in theaters long enough to make that kind of money, because that game has changed. All right. So I'll answer some of this. Fantastic Four can make $1 billion. Live action Lion King movie. Listen, anything can happen, guys. I just don't expect it. Anything can happen. Yeah, that name's hilarious. See, I saw the first Jurassic Park in the theaters. I just didn't do anything. Like I said, if it had gotten to me 10 years earlier, I was a senior in high school, I think, or no, I was out of high school when Jurassic World. If you would have shown me Jurassic Park, if 7-year-old William would have seen Jurassic Park, then it would have been a different thing. I was just not there for that movie when it came out. So that would be great. Like I said, if Superman, if it approaches 700 million, that's a good sign. Because Superman's not even the main moneymaker for DC. Batman is. So if you can pull in 700 million with a depressed market and all the mismanagement and all the dumb shit that the DC's been through, if you can turn around and pull 700 million, that's great. That is great. People should get promoted. That's good money for FF as well. Because what you're doing now is you're restarting with things with the MCU. You're getting into a new phase. None of these movies coming out, the Avengers movies are going to, because that standard's already been set. But we're turning this over now. Now we're going to the next 10, 15 years of X-Men, different Spider-Man stories, and Fantastic Four. So it's a marathon. Yes, the Skrulls debuted in Fantastic Four #2. As a matter of fact. That's where I would bet my money at. That's where I'm between, like I said, low end, 450, high end 750, but right there, that middle 575, it all depends on what they spend on it. But like I said, I don't even care what they spent on it, because it's like when you invest in a business, you're going to lose money for quite a while until things turn over. That's the same thing with this. They're going to have to go all out to get the attention of people who have left them. So you're probably going to spend more than you could bet. I wouldn't be surprised if the advertising campaign is more than half the budget. If you spend $200 million, you have to, because it's not just about Superman. It's about the DCU. It's about the studio. It's about getting people to give you the time of day for this step one. So 575, I think, would be fine. If it goes beyond that, though, like I said, you're well ahead of the game. The Fall of the 11th. I don't think you've been here before. Welcome. Well, welcome to everybody, by the way. I see some brand new people. No disrespect to Superman, since I like Creature Commanders, but I'm still confused of who is this DCU is meant to be building towards. I know how Gunn said it's chapter 1. You know what? It's we're still in the beginning stages of that. I wish they would do a better job in packaging their marketing. They're getting better, but hey, I think you're going to see RDJ in Fantastic Four. I think he's going to be prominently in there. I still think Galactus is going to be the primary threat, obviously, but I think that Doctor Doom, I think Fantastic Four is going to show you how this Doctor Doom ends up in the story that we're going to be going through with Secret Wars and Doomsday. I don't know if it can get worse than Twitter. So. Listen, I'm not a good judge of whether guys are hot or not. That's not my thing, but dude, Joseph Quinn is a magnet. Chicks dig Joseph Quinn. Chicks dig Duggan for Stranger Things. I mean, let's see. All right, let's see. I promise you I'm not William Spy. Yeah, you know what, dude? I think it's you. Yeah, and like I said, different to me. Don't take my excitement as where you all need to be. I am a comic book nerd. You cut me, I bleed comic book. I grew up with the Fantastic Four, and I never thought I would get to the point where some of these things I'm seeing, and since they started all this, that I would ever see. And now we're seeing. I mean, Galactus is this big, larger than life character that here he is now. Especially after the disappointment of the Cloud Galactus or whatever the fuck that is. It's tough. Everything is there for this to be successful. You got good writers. You're basing it off a good story. There are certain aspects I don't like the way Superman looked, and you know what? Superman might not even be for me. Just like Action Comics isn't my preferred Superman title. Maybe Adventures was. It's. I'm not gonna knock the DCU if they present a Superman that just doesn't fit what I like to see in Superman. I'm fine with that. I had Henry Cavill, and there's going to be another Superman in my lifetime, hopefully, if I live long enough to where that one will click with me as well. So I mean, but I do want this to get going so that I can get to Lantern, so I can get to Supergirl. I think I'm gonna have. The people that are working on some of these projects, when you look at their catalog, when I look at their catalog of things that they've done that are really, 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 things I've enjoyed, I can trust the brand a little bit more when I know how these guys tell stories. So, to me, I hope Superman does well enough to get us to the other things, because I'm far more interested in those than I am in anything else. All right, so let's go with this trailer a little bit more. All right, so
You couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been.
I love the sound score. I like it. If you know anything about Ben Grimm, he always hates the way he looks because he's an outcast, And so him looking at that screen of him before he and that was a big journey for Ben Grimm to be accepted and to accept himself. And then when he meets Alicia Masters, who's blind, and when he, he finally starts feeling normal and how he goes through. So Ben Grimm is the heart and soul of the Fantastic Four. He's the optimist. He's the guy that, despite the circumstances, he tries to find the silver lining, and you kind of get that vibe here. I like the way Sue is characterized here, and where you got Reed feeling guilty about and he should took your family out into outer space with dangerous radiation out there, and you mutated them, but that's okay. She reinforces the mission. She reinforces him. She's like, yeah, we got these powers, but I'm still Sue Storm. Johnny's still Johnny, and Ben's always been a rock. And I like that metaphor of Ben always has been a rock, because when you read the Fantastic Four, he's that emotional rock. He's that spiritual rock. Reed Richards is the smartest man in the world, but Ben Grimm has always been the one that brings everything back to center. So I really did enjoy, I really did like that reference.
A rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us. we'll face
And there you go.
it Together.
All right, right there. So when I got chills, because obviously if you read the comics, you read the Coming of Galactus, which we will be covering this week, the sky and the fire and everything else that shows you. And if you read Fantastic Four 48 and 4950, you see the sky turn red, and then bam, there's Galactus. So I loved seeing this. Really gave me chills. Now, some people have been telling me this is Red Ghost. And if you look at Red Ghost, he sort of looks like he could be him. That's obviously John Malkovich. I went way out of the limb, because the only thing I saw missing from here, character-wise, is like a character like Atu. Now, I know in the MCU we've gotten Atu, but remember, this isn't the same universe as the MCU is. It will be. It will merge with them. But I was guessing, could it be Atu, Red Ghost, or could be the Mole Man? I don't know. But it's John Malkovich, no matter what. And that no movie gets worse by having John Malkovich in it. All right, then there you go, right there. When you see that shadow, what's coming, and I love that forebearing of who that is. You know exactly who that is. And there's Galactus looking down at the Statue of Liberty. Like I said, in the trailer that we saw at Comic-Con, like I said, you saw that picture I showed you. That's him, but he turns around and he stoops down and you see his full face. So I'm really excited about that.
As a family.
And this is a Beatles reference right here. And somebody actually was posted it somewhere where you saw the Beatles standing in something just like this. Basically, that's the vibe that they were trying to give you, is that the Fantastic Four of their era are the Beatles. They're the rock stars. There are no other superheroes. It's just them. As far as I know, that DC didn't show any. Now, there is something that I just realized after thinking of this trailer all day that I did not see. I saw Johnny flame on. I saw Ben be Ben, and I saw Sue be invisible. Unless I'm missing something, guys, if you want to point it out in the chat, I didn't see Mr. Fantastic go elastic. If so, let me know where in the trailer it did so I can go back and watch it, because I completely missed that. So. And I love the first steps. First steps, everything in this trailer was a reference to the space program. First steps, was constantly used during the 60s. And like I said, they reinforced that earlier this morning, much to my chagrin, for an hour. And for those people who set their alarms to get up at 4, sorry. But yeah. Really enjoyed this trailer. I mean, like I said, the score, the song's cool. Well, it's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be weird. Greg Gillespie is a great director. He got the best performances out of Margot Robbie, who was in Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, He definitely got some great performances. Heartburn. All right, let's see. Yeah, I really enjoyed him. Like I said, I saw the rubber. He was in. They showed a site photo where he was in that costume, so we got a chance to see what it looked like. But I didn't know how he would look like moving, and I really like the way he looks. I mean, like I said, in all of the comic book movies that I've seen, I've pretty much seen them all. Just from what I've seen with this trailer, this is the most visually accurate one that I've seen in a very, very long time. Obviously, you can get Spider-Man look exactly like Spider-Man, and but for the most part, when it's an ensemble film, it's really hard because some characters look absolutely ridiculous when you put their comic book forms on there. It took the MCU to bust through and establish themselves before Wolverine could wear the yellow and black costume. Otherwise, he's just wearing a black jacket and all that stuff. So it took people getting used to and accepting and embracing comic book movies for us to be able to get to that point. But the way the Fantastic Four looks, it literally looks like I was watching a comic book. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Followed 11, 10 out of 10 for The Thing. I'm happy it sounds normal. The previous versions, like I said, I enjoyed Michael Chiklis. I just think this version is better looking than him as far as like. No. Marvel owns the human rights. Human rights. Marvel owns the Human Torch. It's yeah, Fox had them for that period of time, but like I said, when they purchased Fox, they got these licenses back. Let's see. I mean, you're gonna have those people no matter what. The anti-Semites and all those people, they're gonna be there no matter what. So I mean, and all right. Pineapple does not go on pizza. Hal Jordan, that's nasty. Now, I mean, by definition, though, Superman wasn't a trailer. It's going to get misspoken that it's a trailer, but it really wasn't. I just gave you the definition of what a trailer and a teaser are. I mean, like I said, do we know the premise of Superman yet? If Superman was a trailer, you would know the premise. Trailer gives you the framework of his story. I can tell you what Fantastic Four is about. I can tell you the overarching threat in Fantastic Four. I can tell you, I saw the characters. The primary characters are introduced. That's a trailer. Superman wasn't a trailer. You will get a Superman trailer, hopefully in a few days here, but that wasn't a trailer, in my opinion. In fact, by definition, it's not a trailer. No, a teaser is any collection of things that doesn't give you any premise, but still gives you a visual reference. That with Superman flying to that's a teaser. But what's the premise? Okay, what's the premise of the story in Superman? If that was a trailer, you'd be able to tell me that if that were a true trailer. No, because once the Fantastic Four is introduced, they're going to be dealing with the entire MCU as their playground. So he's the kind of enemy you bring in proper for them. But their enemies and stuff, they're not going to be facing a lot of their own rogues gallery because you already got Dr. Doom as part of the rogues gallery. So and Galactus isn't a cage. He comes and he goes. Dr. Doom's a bit more constant. So no, I think he's a perfect enemy to open up with. Oh, the 19, yeah, come on now, that's trash compared to anything. I think they can, because we're in a different world now. We're not See, you would have made more money too back then if they didn't have this whole tribalism with Marvel and DC and the boneheaded fanboys who kind of made it not fun for anybody. Nowadays, I don't think people don't care. If they, I think Superman, I think Superman could hover in that area of Man of Steel. And I think Fantastic Four can definitely get up there. I mean, BVS made $871 million. This is a phenomenal amount of money. Just for inflation, I think all these movies have a chance to make similar dollars that each other made. But you also have to realize, though, that once again, back in 2012, 2013, 2017, we kept movies in the theater as long as we could. Now they have a pre-planned streaming date, POVD date, that they don't really, you know what, you're making this money at the box office, great. You know how much of that money I have to give away before it gets back to my corporate fat cats? A lot. So this movie, the box office won't be as relevant as when you compare it to 2012 and all those, because we didn't have streaming. So, well, I saw him. So they didn't show him in this, but in the Comic-Con, they actually show him, and he looks phenomenal. He looks great. Yeah, and I think by putting them in a retro universe where they're not connected yet gives them the license to do whatever they wanted to establish them. Snyder Bro, you may have to eat your cape. You may have to eat your. There's a very good chance that you'll be eating. And you know what? I want you to do that. I want you to come on our show and eat that cape. No, we're not doing open paddles. I'm kind of tired, actually. You know what, Mighty Rex? I would love to see that. I would have loved to see them use DC Frontiers as the basis to establish it, and then kind of do what they're doing with Fantastic Four, where they all get shuffled up and end up in the current. I like this approach. I think this is kind of cool. If you're talking about Cyborg being heart of the movie, then yeah, because, and like I said, I cannot believe somebody approved the removal of him from that movie. When you watch that Justice, so you can see how much he means. Is he the biggest, flashiest character on the screen? No, but he connects his story. His story is the best story out of all of them. His transformation and his relationship with his father, and dude, that tape. When he reassembles the tape recorder at the end and his father's talking to him after his father's passed, I don't cry at movies, but if I did, that would have been a movie that would have been a moment for me. Yeah, because he needs oxygen to burn. Yes, Joker, but guess what? Because of that cloud, I never got to see Galactus. So I was ripped off. Yeah, and that's another thing. He could be Nathaniel Richards. I mean, I think Galactus will destroy this Earth too, and I think Galactus gets manipulated by Doom to destroy this Earth. I think Galactus and Doctor Doom not only destroy this Earth, Aron, I think they destroy this reality. I also think that this version of Galactus is Franklin Richards. I think this version of Galactus is their son. Because the version of Silver Surfer we're getting, which is Silver Surfer's girlfriend instead of Norrin Radd, is from Earth X, and that Galactus is Franklin Richards. And when they say that, the premise of the movie, when they say the tagline is the Fantastic Four have to fight the coming of Galactus until it gets real personal, and I think by real personal, it's their son. I could be totally wrong, but there's some stuff that's leaning towards it. I think that version of Galactus ends up sacrificing himself, and that is how, because remember, Galactus existed before the beginning of the new universe. And he was one of the first things to be created in the new universe. So this universe that is our timeline, or there's a sacred timeline, might be because Doom manipulates and does something. I don't know, but yeah, I think Galactus will not only destroy this world, but I think Galactus acts by virtue or by manipulation of Victor Von Doom, destroys this reality. And that's why the Fantastic Four has to flee. And I think that's where Dr. Doom will be established as the enemy throughout these films going on, because he's destroying realities. And he probably uses each reality's Galactus to do that in order, just like he did with the Beyonder, where he used him as a conduit to absorb his power. So when he was kissing Kirby, okay. Let me see.
Or what? Not because it's not.
5.
We went up the. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world, right?
You couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world, right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
I don't see it. I'm missing it. I'm missing that there. I'm trying to find it. They are silly, but it is, you know. Yeah, and but listen, they're using the dog to market it. People love dogs. That's an edge, you know, it's a smart edge to give themselves. It's Elastic. Have you ever read? I just directed towards me, Antonio. That can't be directed towards me. Rational, maybe a temporary F4 until we get the main ones plus Secret Wars. I think that this, I think that this is the Fantastic Four. I think they get displaced once their universe is destroyed. I think out of all the universes that get consolidated, I think the Fantastic Four's universe is the first one to happen. It definitely, dude. It literally felt like I was reading some of the early issues of Fantastic Four. Yeah, he could be Franklin. He could be Franklin. I want to see if that's not Atu. I want to see Atu needs to be here. Oh, okay. I when I read these comments, guys, I'm reading them literally. Sorry. Drogo, what was your comment? Oh, to write on the blackboard. Let's see. I just don't remember seeing him do it here. Hold on.
5.
Before we went up.
T-5.
Before we went up the first.
Nope,
star.
he's just regular. He's just normal. Let's see. Nah, dude, Zendaya's damn near 6 feet tall. Tom Holland is like 5'8". You should see when they're doing the stunts that they have to have him land later than her because she towers over him. It's hilarious. Correct. Galactus is what's called an abstract. So he's perceived, we can't comprehend what Galactus looks like. So we comprehend him in the way that each of Skrulls, he looks like a Skrull. wherever he's from, or whatever planet he visits or comes to, that's what he looks like. All right, guys. Well, that I mean, like I said, I'm excited. But once again, I came into it excited. So I'm happy with the trailer. And now comes Super Bowl Sunday. You're gonna get one for Superman. A full-on trailer. Now, after this week, we should have something to talk about as far as story content comes with Superman. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, even though the universe that I bought into got shit canned by bad management, doesn't mean I can't enjoy this one. There are going to be reasons I may not enjoy this one, simply because he seems to be a Justice League International fan, and I can't stand Justice League International. But as far as quality of the movie and serving an entire universe goes, I think this is going to be a good start. I enjoyed Creature Commandos for what it was. I'm definitely looking forward to Lanterns. The Damon Lindelof and Lanterns, I couldn't have dreamed of a better creative team than what they're giving us there. So. Well, Super Bowl, the day of Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. We should be getting a trailer this week somewhere. So, hey. All right. So, all right, guys. Let's see. Thoughts of The Incredibles. Some people say it's the best Fantastic Four movie. I never saw The Incredibles. I never had any desire to see The Incredibles. So I can't answer that for you. But you know how I feel about other things being called. If it's not Fantastic Four, then it's not Fantastic Four. It's like the Orville. The Orville is not the best Star Trek anything. Galaxy Quest is not the best. It's not. If it's not the thing, it's not the thing. I doubt, even if I did see The Incredibles, the only thing I would be able to tell you if I liked it, it's the best Incredibles that it could be, but it's not Fantastic Four. Only Fantastic Four is Fantastic Four. Only Star Trek is Star Trek. Only Star Wars is Star. Everything else is imitation. If you like those imitations, no problem. But just remember, there's only one true thing. Everything else is a mock. So, Puppy Bowl National. Yeah, and I can't believe this. I'm gonna watch the fucking Puppy Bowl. I'm watching the Puppy. They've done their job. Puppy Bowl is gonna be probably highest rated Puppy Bowl of all time. So here you go. Zendaya is 5'11". That woman's tall, and like I said, you see her and Tom Holland out on a date, and she's got heels on, so he needs the heels. So I'm not a Pixar fan. Not a big deal, All right, guys. So hey, I would like to thank my favorite sponsor in the whole wide world. I know this guy personally. Think he's a swell dude. If you're in the Vegas area, I think you should go out and visit him.
Come on down and get your feet to get the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi Center.
Yeah, I've met the guy in person. He's swell. So if you're in Vegas, come by and visit the Sci-Fi Center. If you want to know how I am there, it's much like I am here. Well, a little bit less cussing. But we can have the geek conversation in person. So if you ever get down to make it here, I will be here. Let me know. I've met some of you in person throughout this YouTube journey. I've met Enoch. I've met Rhea. Fourth, met him too. Almost did him in, but he figured me out and got off the ladder. And I'm gonna meet Brad when we go to Comic-Con. So got a lot of stuff coming up. So all right, yeah, he's an asshole sometimes. So all right, guys, we will see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is gonna be Brad's birthday stream. So come ready to sing happy birthday to Brad as he inches ever so close to 40. Until then, if you see anything in this Fantastic Four trailer that I missed, let me know and then timestamp it so I can go back and watch it. So, like I said, because I'm going to watch this trailer a couple of different times and see what I missed, and I'm probably going to watch one of these breakdown shows that really do it way better than I ever could, and I'm probably missing a whole lot. But yeah, we're in it now. Well, first trailer, bam, we're the journey to first steps. The first steps are here, and I'm happy. Yeah, I would like to meet you in this lifetime, Chuck. So you putting that contingent on the Cowboys ever winning a Super Bowl, I don't know if that's going to happen. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good morning.